Maligayon pagdating pabalik sa aking Real Ninja Kusina, ngayong ay gumagawa kami ng lumpia. Alright, just got back from Seafood City. I'm going to show you the ingredients, the items that I bought. I got 3 packs of these lumpia wrappers right here. There's 30 in a pack, so should be plenty. I got my green onions. Got some bean sprouts, carrots, and I got some nice garlic. Got some onions. Got almost 3 pounds of ground pork. This pork is 15% fat. I was kind of hoping it was 20%, but 15 is fine. And I got a cabbage. So first we're gonna slice and dice vegetables. Then we'll prepare the meat, and then we'll put the meat and the vegetables together, and then we'll start rolling up lumpias to show you how to do everything. First I cut some of the cabbage and I removed the thicker, heavier pieces like this, and then I fine chop the cabbage like this. This is about maybe 1 cup. Peel 2 carrots. I ended up only grating 1 of the carrots. I think that's enough. That's about 1 cup of grated carrot. Now I'm gonna chop some bean sprouts. It's just about this much. I mean, it's about 4 fingers on the board. It looks like it's about 1/3, maybe close to half a cup of chopped bean sprouts. That's about 3/4 of a cup of green onion chopped. Chopped 3 cloves of garlic. That's actually 4 small cloves of chopped garlic. And now we chop some onion. A little less than half of the onion. I ended up only chopping about 1/4 of the onion because I don't want it to be too oniony. I would guess that's about 1/3 of a cup of chopped onion. Alright, so now I got the pan heating up, medium-high heat. I'm going to add some canola oil. And garlic. And I'm just going to heat it up to release the flavor before I add the meat. That's good. I can smell it cooking. I'm going to add the pork. And brown the pork. So we're just browning the pork until it's not pink anymore. Then we're going to remove it from the pan and put it in the colander in the sink to drain off the excess liquid. And I think we are there. I don't see any pink left in here. Alright, we put the pan back on the stove. I'm gonna add a little bit more oil. Now I'm going to add the onions and the carrots and the cabbage. And the sprouts. And I'm just going to saute that around a little bit. And so you do this until the cabbage starts to look a little wilted, but you can also tell by the aromas coming out of the pan that it's starting to cook. So now I'm going to add the pork, and I may have made more pork than I made vegetables, so I'm just going to add it in slowly to make sure it's the right proportions that I like. I may have to cut more vegetables. A little bit more garlic. Onions. So right here, notice that I had to stop and cut a whole nother order of vegetables because I didn't make enough vegetables to go with all the meat. So I did 2 pans of meat and vegetables. So when I say 1 tablespoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of pepper, that's because, remember, that's in 2 pans. The first one and the second one, and then I put it all together in the end. Just clarify that so you notice that I did it twice. Now I add salt and pepper. Garlic powder. Soy sauce. I'm going to add this to the other meat so it's not going to be too much. The lumpia filling is done, and this is what it looks like. Now we're on the production line. I've got a baking sheet here with some parchment paper or wax paper, so I can set my lumpia on there after I make it. I've got my lumpia filler here. I have a dry towel and I have a damp towel, and I also have my lumpia wraps. This is the lumpia wrapper. I'm going to turn it diamond shape. 1 point at me and the other away. And I'm going to put about, I think 1 tablespoon is probably pretty good. And then I fold it towards the other corner and tuck it in. Then I roll it about halfway. Then I bring this in towards the center and bring the other end towards the center and roll it up. And then when I get to here, when I have this part here, I go like this, and that's rolled nice and tight. I'm just kidding, don't do that. I have flour mixed with water to make a little bit of a paste. You just take this, put a little dab on here. That's why we have the towels. That'll make it sticky, and then you roll it up like that. And then put it over here. Try to roll it tight, but try not to tear the wrapper. I think I'm gonna try egg. Maybe egg is better. Let's see which one works better, the flour paste or the egg for sealing the wrapper. So 1 point's going this way and 1 point's going towards me, like a diamond. Take 1 scoop and roll it up. Dip in the egg, put a little bit on there. I'm gonna stop right now and cook these ones and see how they are to make sure I don't want to change anything. By the way, this is my first time making lumpia. That's what it looks like when it's done. We're gonna pull that out now. So here's one. It's quite hot. It's pretty hot on my fingers. Here's the sauce. Get some of this sauce on here. Okay, so I'm happy with that. That turned out good. I'm gonna go ahead and keep doing like I was. Usually it's better if you have people with you to help you roll the lumpia because it is time consuming. It gets a little easier as you go. Like I said, this is my first time. My first ones were not quite as tight, but they're getting tighter. This is gonna take a long time to roll everything. This is a lot. But the nice thing about that is I can freeze it, and I'll show you how I do that later too. It's going to involve, I'm not going to use the vacuum sealer because lumpia is not going to sit around long enough to be worried about freezer burn. But I will probably partially freeze it first so it doesn't stick together. So here's the lumpias. I made 43 lumpias. These are jumbo lumpias. Look how big they are compared to my finger. Usually a lumpia is about as big as my finger. Look at how big. But use canola oil. That's my preference. You can use vegetable oil. This is what you want your oil to look like when you're frying lumpia. You don't want it to be super radical like you're, this is what you want, like mild bubbles like that, so it cooks slow enough to heat the inside up good and cook the inside, and you get that slow cooking outside with the golden, you want that golden color on the outside, nice and crispy. You cook it too fast, it's not going to be good on the inside, and it's going to get burnt on the outside. Just cook it nice and slow. This is probably about, I'm guessing right now, but this is probably about 325, 350 degrees. And it's cooking very nice right now. These are the two sauces that I like to use. They are both very good. You will be happy with either one. This is what they look like. These are done. It takes about 3-4 minutes to cook it like this. I'm gonna go ahead and start pulling these out. I'm gonna put them in the colander over here. So if there's excess oil, it can drip off, and then I'll dry it with a paper towel. Lumpia. Okay, let's give it a try. I'm gonna grab one of these sauces here. Very good. Making lumpia is a lot of work. It takes time. And yeah, you can go to the store and buy it pre-packaged, pre-made, but it's a little better when you do it yourself. And everybody's gonna love it, and they will thank you, believe me. Everybody loves lumpia. And you can make this with pan-fried halibut. You can use shrimp, scallops, lobster. You can use seafood in here. I just happen to use pork this time. That's my favorite. But it's very good with all kinds of stuff. You can even use top ramen noodles, Spam, and pineapple. You can use peanut butter and jelly. You can use grape nuts and raisin bran. You can use whatever you want in lumpia. Try it out. Share it with your friends, your family. Everybody's gonna love it. Trust me, they're gonna love it. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the lumpia in the freezer and just put it in there for about 45 minutes so it gets partially frozen. That way when I bag it, they don't stick together. And then I'll put it in Ziploc bags, and then I'll freeze it because it's not gonna sit long. I'm not worried about frostbite. I'm gonna give some bags to my friends. I'm gonna keep some for myself, and it'll get cooked soon. If I was gonna store it for long term, I'll vacuum pack it. But I'm not gonna do that. I wanna cook, I wanna share this, I wanna eat this. Alright everybody, if you made it to the end of the video, this is how we're gonna finish. With the Ziploc bag, the lumpia has been in the freezer for about an hour. It's semi-frozen. This way they don't stick together when you put it in the bag.